everyone, welcome back to Lettuce Leaf. Today we are doing a build for that strip of beach that I mentioned next to Camofrog's swamp. So this also will just really finish off that top corner that we've been working on. So I got a few people who said they'd like to see it, so I thought I'd put a video together for you. The aim for this is like the research lab that we made last time. I want to link it to that. So it's going to be like where the researchers sleep at night. I'm obsessed with these flamingos. I love them so much. Again, one thing I'm doing is using those same like 5 to 10 patterns that I use everywhere. Like I haven't used up all my design slots. I have ones that I still have saved I don't need anymore. I've got ones that are saved that I don't actually like and just got to test, and I've still got empty slots. So there's so many ways that you can get around the limit on your design slots. Like I think we have more than enough. I really like how this outdoor rock pool matches the rocks on the beach really well. So I really like the idea of having more of those watery gaps like you have the sides of it. What I've done is the same as how I've done on the other speed builds that I've done, and just grabbed a load of items. Although my pockets are pretty full at this point, I think I do end up going and throwing them at the bottom of the beach because it's just easier. This flamingo on the corner I messed with for so long because I really wanted him in the middle, but it just wasn't happening. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go with some log things on the rocks, but then I was like, if I've got the outdoor pool that matches the rock space anyway, having a stone stool is just going to fit that theme more. And I've put a butterfly statue on it because I love how they liven up the place. Same with the flamingos, it just really makes the island more dynamic. The seaweed is something that I always have loads of, like there's loads in my storage as well. I love diving, so I tend to get a lot of it, but the fact you can just put it down and you have like extra textures. So it works on the rocks as well, but you can have it as like a bit of a grass patch, or you can have it as like texture on other builds that you're doing on top of patterns and stuff. Like I think it's just such a versatile creature. It's a plant. It's a versatile plant. When it comes to beach builds, there's definitely certain flowers that I prefer to others that I think just look better on the beaches. My favourites are probably the mums and the hyacinths, but I do really like the lilies and the cosmos as well. I just wasn't happy with this back bit. Like I think I go back to it a few times throughout the build because it just looked so flat, but I still really wanted it to be functional. I just needed to have it a bit more built up. Like to me it just looks very one-dimensional. Now I'm just throwing this plank pattern down. Again, I have 3 saved, but I only use this one. I just haven't had the need to get rid of the others yet. And before I put down the tents, I wanted these planks, so it's like they pitched on an area of driftwood to stop the sand getting in the tent, because to quote a famous man, sand is coarse and it gets everywhere. I went with a brown tent because it's a very neutral colour and I liked how it went with the other colours of the island. Like the flamingos stand out, the butterfly stands out a little bit with the orange wings underneath, but other than that it's all very natural, naturey, muted vibes. Like the colours I'm going for aren't dramatic and in your face. So I didn't want to have like the blue tent or the one that looks like a circus tent. As much as I love them, I just didn't think they fit. And the other one I went with was the white tent, just for the same reasons. Other bits I'm dropping are just like researchy campy things, like the lantern and the tiny library are things that I would associate jungle researchers to have with them. Again, just putting things down then going, no, it needs a custom pattern. Like no two people are going to have the same combination of patterns. So you, like, even if you have like half the same as someone else, you're still going to do so many different things with that. Dropped flowers I also think are very cute for the beach. You can see that I put things down and then I run back and I go back and I move them if I don't like it. Like, as much as these are speed builds and you see this all happening quite quickly, no. These can take so long. I wanted to have a flamingo there, like it's looking in, seeing what's going on, why are these humans here? You may notice that when I do put flamingos down, I tend to have a group of them. So, fun flamingo fact for you all. Much like other species, they make friends for life, and they tend to stick in their groups. It's cute, I like that. So I went and got a full-grown coconut tree so that I could see how things looked with how they branch out and the leaves splay out, and see if you could still see everything behind it, basically. More custom patterns, that's like the whole beach is going to be covered. There's a lot of things that I grabbed that I won't necessarily use for the build, but I like the idea of them. Whether they'll work in practice is one thing, but I have them there because I like them in theory. And I'd rather have something and not need it than need something, not have it, and have to run to my house. I keep going back and forth about this tree. I can't decide if I like it or not, because I like that it hides it a bit and that they've found this hidden corner of the jungle to camp in, but at the same time it's like blocking quite a bit. Like, I think 2 was too much, because then you can't see the campfire either, like the cooking, and when you pull it out too much it just looks stuck at the side and the log bench doesn't slide across properly, and I don't like having them lined up perfectly like that. Tried, but the 2 trees weren't working. I also wanted to reuse this, it's almost like a wicker rug type thing, but just use half of it, because I think it's a really cute pattern, and like, I've used it in one place, why not use it somewhere else, especially when it fits the build. Making sure everything's still usable. A lot of what I cut out in these builds is me like walking up and down. You know, like when you're on a phone call and you start pacing up and down the house? That's me trying to make decisions for when I'm building things. It's like if I walk up and down enough times, then suddenly I'll know what I'm doing. This fire pit is such a lovely item. Yeah, again, with that tree being there, I couldn't see what I was doing, but I was like, I could have a tree stump, that's functional. Apart from you can't sit on the palm tree ones and it's really annoying. So this log bench is now multifunctional, so you could sit there and you could cook up your food, like with it being right in the ocean as well. If you are someone who eats fish, you can sit there, fish out onto the ocean, you can stand up the rocks at the back and fish out, and then you can cook whatever you catch right there. Or you could sit there on a cold night, warm yourself up by the fire pit. Also, having a rubbish bin was essential to me. I didn't like the idea that anyone would be littering on the beach, so I was like, no, they're having a bin. This mush partition I really liked, but I kept looking at it and I was like, something is like off here. I think what it was is the colour of it. So I thought I'd throw some custom patterns down, try it again, but with it being yellow sand, yellow tree stump, yellow mushrooms, I was like, this isn't the vibe. So I went and stole one from a different bit of my island, and now I have a red and white one, which matches the one in the background I've just noticed. But I like it nonetheless. It adds some colour to somewhere that really needed it. Some leaves, but I went with the yellow ones that you get in autumn because they fit more. I liked it more as like a sand pile with some leaves like mixed into it. And then I've gone back to this back bit because the whole time I've been building the rest of it, and it's been like, yeah, I like this. That section in between the rocks and the tents, I'm like, it's not right. I don't like it. It doesn't flow properly. It looks like that's too much of a filler section. Like, I know it's not the main part of it. but it didn't gel right in my head. And then I was just having a look what else I had in my pockets, if I could make anything else work. But I preferred this to what I did have because it was a little bit more interesting to look at. The wetsuit I've been wearing for this whole build isn't because I couldn't be bothered to choose an outfit. I wanted to drop it on the beach. I wanted them to be doing aquatic research as well as jungle research. So if I put down the wetsuit, they've been going underwater and out into the sea. And it saved pocket space because I was already wearing it. We're back here again because I can't make my mind up on how I like this bit. I then got in my head that the rock was also too bland and that needed some more stuff added to it, so I put a mush lamp there because they're the best items, honestly, they can fix everything. The log stool that I used at the start of the build though did end up having a use. I went and grabbed out another model so that it was a bit more brought to life and chucked this stink bug down there. Especially when it's a green bug, I like to give them somewhere that they can be seen more. So with this stink bug against the yellows and the blues, you could see a green bug more. Whereas if it's like a stink bug or a mantis or whatever out on the rest of the island, I'll put it near a brighter coloured item or some flowers or something so you could still see it. I also much preferred the bin being at the actual sleeping area. Dropped items can improve a build so much, and I wish Isabel didn't cry about it, but honestly, 4-star islands are the wave. 5 stars done, we all got our golden watering can, and now we're all here for 4 stars. Because I've always got too many trees or too many things on the floor. And here we have the build for this sliver of beach up here at the top. I think it matches really well with the swamp, and obviously the research lab and the museum and everything. I hope this gives you some ideas of what to do with your beaches. Like, I think beachside campsites are so cute. You could even do it with your actual campsite. Mine wouldn't fit here. It gives me like cozy but chilly vibes at the same time. Like, you don't have that many fires because you're warm by the ocean in a rainforest at night. I hope you enjoyed. I had a lot of fun making this one. Like, this was one I did quite late at night. I know it says 10:30, ignore that. You couldn't see it as well in the dark. I did it quite late at night, just had a really relaxing like hour or so of building. Please do like if you liked it, subscribe if you're new. We are almost at 150 now, which is mental. It feels like yesterday I was saying we're at 100. Thank you so much, the support has been incredible. My socials are here. You can come follow me over on Twitch. I've been doing a few streams on there. I will be hopefully streaming the Crunchy race on Sunday at 7 PM GMT over on Twitch. We're going to see if we can do any good at that. Probably not. But either way, it'll be a laugh. You can come shout at me in the chat when I'm going the wrong way. So feel free to come join me over there. It's a lot of fun. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye!